Alright, hey everybody, or anybody watching this. I thought for this week I would just kind of walk you through my design process, kind of from beginning to end, and anything that I might do, even if I don't end up doing that today, which I think is going to be the case. So, to start, what I have here is I think a couple of years ago, even I think I did this right or shortly after I had graduated design school and kind of moved back home. I wrote down a whole bunch of ideas. I just kind of had a brainstorming session. I wrote down, I think, about 30 ideas, and I've done about 10. Now, I've created a lot more than just 30 because I haven't done everything on this list. Because a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just get an idea and I just kind of run with it. And I think that's true for a lot of artists. You just kind of get an idea, you just kind of go. One of the reasons I use this now is just kind of if I feel stuck or if I feel uninspired, I can just kind of go back to, I guess, the drawing board in a sense. I could just come back to this list and think, okay, what haven't I done on here and what looks interesting? So it's never really a bad idea to just kind of do that. The next thing that I'll do is, once I have my reference photo, if I'm using them, is I'll open up an Illustrator file. If I don't sketch, if I don't create a sketch, I will just go right into the program and I'll use shapes and kind of create an outline of what I want to do, and then I'll use brushes and kind of go from there. I'm not going to draw over the van, I'm just going to use shapes for the van. So, and then for the figure, for this guy, I probably will. But I think from here I'm just going to step aside. I'll run through this. I don't know if I'm going to have a speed paint type thing in this video. I might just walk you through kind of what I did at the very end. Alright, this is kind of more or less the final result. I decided not to do the kind of speed paint part because as I was kind of getting everything started, I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be boring to watch, so I thought I would just kind of finish it and then show you what is more or less going to be the final design. I'm probably going to tinker with this a little bit, but what I had in mind was this guy driving a van, presumably like in a desert, maybe somewhere. I don't know. I think I might leave it kind of, I guess, ambiguous as to where it could be. But the idea was he's driving a van and like the second half of the van kind of is blowing up and like dissolving into nothing. And let me just kind of zoom in here. I kind of gave it the title Road to Nowhere. You can see this van kind of based on the shape of a VW. And I really just kind of used shapes for everything. This was kind of a rectangle that I just kind of, what do you call it? Manipulated to kind of fit the shape of the van. I used a couple different shapes. This is a rectangle and this is like a bigger rectangle. Rounded out the edges. I used the curve tool to kind of make it a little bit more rounded, and I just merged them together to make one shape. Made the windows using the same process, and the door kind of the same process as well. Don't know if I need to go into too much detail, but then these are of course just made triangles, and then I repeated it a whole bunch, rotated a few, and changed the size for a few of them. But ultimately just kind of repeated it to kind of create this shape or this kind of pattern to kind of show it kind of dissolving or whatever. And then with this, with this character, I just use the brush tool. If you're curious, whenever I use a brush, I always just use this artistic ink brush. Anyway, but I just kind of decided to go along with this kind of retro, old time, kind of cartoon style of that you would usually see like in the, I think, 30s and 40s predominantly. That was a style that I kind of started, I guess, experimenting with a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, so I guess I'll just wrap it up. Just kind of